For one thing, the financial needs in the field have accelerated at a pace unlike any time in the recent past. A recent analysis of the need for kingdom halls here in the United States showed that some 1,600 new kingdom halls or major renovations are needed, not sometime in the future, but right now.
Hello.
It's almost Betty Bye time, but this is like, we can't wait to share this until the morning, can we?
I know it. I know it. Our dear friend Deep Throat, the pictures that we just showed, I sent those to him, and he came back and I tell you, this made my day, made me laugh, deserved a 2 rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah.
But what he did is he wrote a parody or a spoof of an elder's letter. And this was just too good not to share with everybody. Deep Throat, love you, sweetie. Thanks for the laugh. Okay. Letter to the body of elders.
Now remember, this is just a parody.
Yes, that he wrote. Dear brothers, due to the spectacular worldwide increase in publishers and the need for millions of new kingdom halls, the governing body has determined that your congregation has outgrown its current location. Therefore, we have made arrangements to sell your kingdom hall and are requesting that all 11 of your currently attending publishers immediately begin to set aside money each month towards the construction of a new kingdom hall in praise of our great God Jehovah. Please pass out slips to each publisher at your next scheduled meeting, movie night, and have them fill in an amount they are willing to donate each and every month in order to finance their badly needed new kingdom hall. Remind them that we, your leaders, have kindly forgiven the old loan, so they owe us. Page 2, big bold print. Notice to elders, this page is not to be read to the congregation.
Yeah.
I think
How many times have we heard that?
Oh, see it all the time. The monthly pledges are irrelevant as we will extort the predetermined amount the governing body has decided your congregation will donate every month, regardless of the actual donation amount pledged. Publishers may have noticed that your meetings are sparse and the kingdom hall is for all intents and purposes empty. Should these rebellious ones, please see Rebellious Ones, Watchtower Library CD-ROM any year, have the audacity to question God's arrangement by having the audacity to vocalize the obvious, please mark them as bad association. Please see bad association on the Watchtower Library CD-ROM any year. But continue to badger them to continue with their monthly pledge. Should they discontinue donating altogether, immediately disfellowship them for apostasy. Jehovah has no need of those who are broke and who selfishly put food and shelter ahead of the multi-billion-dollar publishing corporation's interests and who spurn its life-saving preaching work as we near the end of the end of the end in these last of the last overlapping days of this really old system of things.
I know.
Priceless. Please be assured of our conditional love and our appreciation for your continued gullibility. God surely loves the donations of a bullied, oblivious, and henpecked flock. Keep warm and well fed. The board of directors, your demigod masters, the one and only and way better than you governing body. P.S. Stephen Lett, a.k.a. the really ugly baby, is back on his meds and says, hey!
Hey! I tell you, it's absolutely been a pleasure being friends with the unknown apostate. I mean, the laughs, just heartwarming. They truly are. I just love this guy to pieces.
This one was from Deep Throat.
Ah, I meant Deep Throat. Pardon me. Well, it's almost bedtime, and as you saw, I had a lot of whiskey, a lot of... I can't even remember what the hell I had. Rum. Well, I've got something else I wanted to share, too, and I kind of want to keep it...
He's had a busy, long day.
Yeah, it's been a cold day at work today, yes.
Yeah. When you wake up and you walk outside and you're being like sandblasted only with ice crystals.
Yeah.
And it's snowing, you know it's going to be one of those days.
Miserable day in New Mexico. But Deep Throat, thank you. Enjoy the laughs. Enjoy the company. You know how I feel about you, brother. You truly do. And thank you so much for your insights and your support and love for what Kim and I are doing. And we just
tremendous help.
Truly appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. But to change the subject a little bit.
And now, Public Access Television presents Men on Books.
Hello, I'm Blaine Edwards.
And I'm Antoine Merriweather. And welcome to Men on Books.
The show that looks at great literature from the past and present.
From a male point of view.
When I got home this afternoon, this was laying on the table. Millions now living will never die.
I bought myself a little treat.
Yeah. And it's from a publishing company that's entire, what's it called? Forgotten Books. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yeah, Forgotten Books. www.forgottenbooks.org.
And this is like a scanned copy of the original 1920 Millions Now Living Will Never Die.
And I just, yeah. Excuse me, may never die. See? Millions now living may never die. Yeah.
They've even changed
How they
that.
gotta change your history, don't they?
Yeah.
But I just happened to be thumbing through it, and I don't know, for some divine reason, I keep opening to the page that speaks volumes. The Holy Spirit, don't ever deny it. But I just want to read the first page, the first paragraph. Now remember, this was written by J.F. Rutherford, the guy that did the hostile takeover of the publishing company. Millions now living will never die. The emphatic announcement that millions now living on Earth will never die must seem presumptuous to many people. But when the evidence is clearly considered, I believe, wait a minute, shouldn't that be God believes? He says, I believe that almost every fair mind will concede that the conclusion is a reasonable one. What a way to start a piece of crap, ain't it?
Well, I was going to say, now those of us in another generation looking back on this, it's like, oh my God, what an idiot.
Well, here again, Jehovah's Witnesses publicly declare that they're not a prophet, but yet what they write in print speaks volumes. See, I believe that almost every fair mind will concede that the conclusion is a reasonable one.
That millions now living in 1920 will never die.
Yeah, well, those millions are dwindling down to the few hundreds, aren't they? Yeah.
I concede Rutherford was a...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But on page 94, under the subheading, How to Live Forever, How to Live Forever, this is what J.F. Rutherford Right. Now, it's interesting because I found this tantalizing in light of the fact that Jehovah's Witnesses today preach and teach, unless you come to Jehovah's organization, you can't survive the end of the system. You have to be attached to Jehovah's organization if you want to make it through the Great Tribulation. So before I read this, Jehovah's Witnesses, I have to ask one simple question. What changed? Why did the philosophy change even from Rutherford's time to today? Listen up. Again, the subheading, How to Live Forever. The church systems would have the people believe that only those who become church members can be saved. The Bible never taught any such doctrine.
This book gets the yet unheard of Zorro snap.
In Z formation.
The Lord never organized the nominal systems.
But I
And
thought he
the-
started a governing body back in the 1st century.
Yeah, the Lord never organized a governing body in the 1st century. You might as well throw that in there. What changed, Jehovah's Witnesses? The Lord never organized the nominal systems, and the true church is but a little flock who shall inherit the kingdom of heaven, and the others of the world do not inherit it. Yada, yada, yada. But I find it interesting. He starts out by saying the church systems would have the people believe that only those who become church members can be saved. And isn't that exactly what Jehovah's Witnesses believe today? Unless you become part of Jehovah's organization, you cannot survive the end of this system.
Well, governing
Wow.
body Jackson told the Australian Royal Commission that it would be presumptuous to say that. But when you start looking into, well, go to your Watchtower library and,
Yeah.
type in salvation,
Yeah.
it
But
comes up.
yeah, but here it is. The Bible never taught any such doctrine. Jehovah's Witnesses, can you see how you've been manipulated to believe a false teaching? If you think that this organization, the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, is God's organization to salvation, even Rutherford, remember, it wasn't too long ago that you watched on a JW broadcast, what was that idiot did that little generation chart?
That Rutherford was
Part of the overlapping generation. The guy that's part of the overlapping generation did not believe that it was a biblical doctrine to say that you must become a church member to get saved. And yet today Jehovah's Witnesses believe it wholeheartedly.
Yep.
What a bunch of crap.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for sending me
thank you, Deep Throat.
all the information. Thank you, Deep Throat, for the good laugh this morning.
Yeah.
Just love that. So I think it's time for a good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Kim.
Good night.
Good night.